Lord, grant me the serenity to understand the things I cannot change. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can. And grant me the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today. Amen. Away from me.
You close to the edge, just don't move. My brother said his lawyer just gave him some bad news. Police found the drugs that were stashed in the bathroom. Not only that, but his court date approaching us fast too. So tell me what to do. Lord, you only seek the truth. If you want to bear fruit, then it needs to abide in you. If you seek transformation, it happens in solitude. Since I never had a shot, God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral, I see it from an angle.
Welcome. It's your boy, Bro Troy.
I'm Bro Smith, Bro Kurt.
And we are
the Bro Code.
The Bro Code TV show was created to share unique and courageous stories that amplify the voices of others, speak life into our community, and celebrate the humane side of humanity. The code is a set of standards or values a person lives by. The code sets the tone for how we treat all people, starting with ourselves. The code matures to the Bro Code when we're fortunate enough to find men that share in those same values and standards. What's happening, fellas? How y'all feeling, man?
Man, I like that remix, man.
You like that? It's your boys. I travel from state to state, baby. You already know bars. How y'all feeling, man? What's good,
I'm
man?
feeling good, man. You know, I may have a chance. I'm hoping I'm putting it in the atmosphere.
Put it out there.
My family interviewed or did an audition to be on Family Feud.
Okay.
The other day, it's a life goal for me to get on a game show.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. I just need to be on a game show before I die.
I appreciate that motivation because that too is I don't want to call it a bucket list, but something that I definitely look forward to doing.
Oh yeah.
And with all this ball head greatness, like we just got to be with Steve, right?
Oh yeah.
That just makes sense.
Oh yeah.
We did it again. Oh, he got his hat on, but I'm like, we did it again.
Oh yeah.
We did it again today. Yo, I know coincidence, man. Bro, Kurt, what's good, man?
So I want to know where you gonna be standing, 'cause like
I'm gonna be the second or third.
okay,
Yeah.
Okay. You set the tone.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not the captain, so.
Yeah.
no, I'm good though. I'm good.
You feeling all right?
Yeah, man.
Hey man, we got another one, man. You know, just to give a little bit about who we are, man. Tell a little bit more about who we are as bros in this code thing. We always ask a question, so it's gonna be the hardest question we ever have to answer on this night.
Okay.
But I'm curious, man. What is your favorite childhood movie and why?
I had a little bit of time to think about this. I'm gonna go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
You know, I was big into the cartoon. I collected all the action figures. It's part of why my favorite color is blue. I just looked at Leonardo as the leader.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be that type. Everybody identifies with one of the turtles.
That's right.
You know, I would think you would be like a Michelangelo type.
Yeah. Slash Ralph.
Yeah.
I want to have fun my way.
Yeah, you know, but I can see Ralph too. I can see Ralph. But yeah, that would be it. The first or the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I can dig that. What'd you think, Bro Kurt?
I'm going with Rocky. I love
The original, or you going all the way back to all the way back?
But the original.
Adrian, we running up the steps, all that. Okay.
Rocky, man. And I'm gonna throw in the second one.
Yeah, because Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
No, I was
I'm saying I'm gonna throw in a second movie.
Oh, okay,
You
second
know
movie.
I'm always gonna take more than that.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with, as I got older, but still young, it's Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood. I just watched it the other day too, the whole movie. Come on.
I could dig that. I was a portly fat kid, right? We're not gonna get into my weight loss stories, man, but I identified with this dude named Chunk. And Chunk was on a movie called Goonies.
I remember.
You know, and he got Chunk got locked in a freezer with ice cream, had his way, man. But I really loved the adventure part of the story. Always been an adventurous kid, so just connected real well with the whole outline. You know, now as an adult, from your point, and you look back at the story, it's like, wow, there's so much you can learn. You know, from those different roles, and it's funny how we now use some of those same storylines and those same things to do the work that we do with our children or with the kids in our nonprofit, man. So I could dig that, man. Well, fellas, we always talk about nothing or greatness being a team sport. And when we're talking about sports, I'd have to believe that tonight's guest's favorite movie would have to be He Got Game. Maybe Ray Allen, a.k.a. Jesus Shuttlesworth, right? Right? Big baby Jesus. Tonight we got the big homie, Jason Coleman. Jason, what's good, bro?
What's going on? I'm honored.
Honored
to be here.
We here with the bros, baby. Ballhead greatness, man. So, hey, Jason, you know, some people that are listening or watching may not know who you are, man. So real quick, 90 seconds or less. Run me your resume, man. Tell the people, put some respect on your name.
Owner, operator of 3D basketball, basketball skill development, trainer, more affectionately. You know, I'd rather be called a skill developer than trainer. But on a skill development company, live and breathe basketball.
Yeah.
And not just only basketball, but just youth. And just it's my conduit to give back. Basketball is so. I love being in the trenches. We're at where I'm usually at on a daily basis here at Word of God Christian Academy. And basketball is just me. Mentorship is me. I love youth. Done some stuff with YM4C. And I just want to be a youth advocate in the community. And basketball is kind of how I do it. I'm pretty good at what I do. Pretty good at what I do.
Modest, man.
Pretty good at what I do. But I'm a basketball guy. Culture and everything. I'm big on trying to correct some of the things in the grassroots and always evolving with the game as well. So that's just a little bit about me. Like 3D basketball, we working. That's what you're gonna see all the time.
All the time. Indeed.
Basketball.
And you indeed always working, and you're right, man. We are right here in the iconic Word of God Christian Academy basketball gym, baby.
We've been saying all year that God is back.
Yeah.
Currently ranked number 10 in the country, max prep, so the God is back.
Yeah, for those that don't know, that's right here at 3000 Rock Quarry Road, right here in the heart of Southeast Raleigh, North Carolina, baby. Shout out to the Holy Rams.
Rams.
Indeed. Hardest question we're gonna get all night. Maybe, right? Any kitchen appliance. If you could be any kitchen appliance, what would you be and why?
That is a tough one. I would say the faucet. I like to pour in. I like to pour into people. The faucet not only pours into, but it also is kind of a washing out. You know, I'm a big proponent of second chances. A lot of guys, a handful of guys I work with have been through some things in life like we all are.
Yeah.
I'm one to not, push those guys to the wayside. Like I said, there's a couple guys that's been through some things and they know they can always come back.
Yeah.
This is like a safe haven, a safe place. And again, like I said, I really enjoy pouring into people and giving back through kind of like basketball is my ministry. But what I do goes far beyond the court.
Yeah.
My job is not done once I leave here. I probably do more of being on the phone and responding to text messages and DMs and helping guys out. So I would say a faucet, pouring into people, kind of cleansing. There's a cleansing that goes on in the sink in the faucet, and a renewing. So I kind of try to do that. I've helped guys kind of renew their career as well, or coming back from injury. So a lot of that goes into kind of like the faucet or the sink. So I would say the sink.
Yeah. See, I thought it was just going to be because your jump shot's wet. That's what I thought you were going to simplify it.
Too.
All right.
That too. Definitely. The jump shot is definitely wet. For sure.
Straight water. Indeed. Well, I could dig that, man. Ministry, conduit, helping people. That's how we connected in the first place, man. So definitely glad to have you, bro.
Yes.
Definitely glad to have you.
Again, honored to be here.
Yeah.
Honored to be here. For sure.
Bro Smith, what you got, man?
Well, I know we got a chance to talk a little bit, and you were telling the bros a little bit about all the struggles, your childhood, things that you've kind of persevered from, and how you came up with the game of basketball. I'm hoping you can share some of that for our audience. So take us back to your childhood. What sparked the love of basketball?
I always like to blame my mom and my dad for that. My mom played high school basketball. My parents are from Chicago, North Chicago. My mom played at North Chicago High School. She was a Warhawk. I actually got pictures of her playing in high school. My dad played basketball as well. And so from, I want to say 6 to 8 months, there's a picture that they had. of me with a basketball, an actual real basketball. And the story goes, right, that once they gave me that, I didn't play with anything else. The only thing I played with was a basketball they bought me. It was a regulation size basketball, and it didn't go outside, so I could drool on it, slop on it, and it was something that that stuck with me. So my parents moved me and my brother here when I was about 4 or 5, and from there I've been playing in rec leagues in Raleigh, and I was just obsessed with basketball. I came up in the Michael Jordan era, so basketball was a very popular thing. So, and then with me being from Chicago, you know, so and still having family there, and we were going back every summer. I was going back home to Chicago. So from as far back as I can remember, basketball was everything for me. Everything. I mean, I did it every day. I did it every day, and you know, I had aspirations of making it to the NBA. Didn't make it, but I tried my hardest in basketball. Even today, like it's not everything. Now, you know, I had to learn balance. You know, my mom would teach me that a lot. And once I got to high school, but yeah, basketball from a very early age, and I was pretty good. I was pretty good. I mean, I was known in the area for basketball. If it wasn't for basketball, I'm a quiet, shy guy. Nobody would know me. I didn't stick out. I wasn't the coolest guy. I wasn't the best dressed guy, but people knew me because of basketball. So my kids think I know everybody in Raleigh, and everybody knows me, and I tell them it's really because of basketball. Like I said, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't be nowhere near as known as I am, and I'm grateful for it though, because even to this day it allows me to be around the game that I love. I do this for a living, and I wouldn't take that back for nothing.
When did it click for you that would be your spark, your way of serving others?
Wow. So I played college ball at Shaw University, played there for 2 years. Tried the overseas thing, didn't work out. Wasn't as much information on overseas as it is now. It's a part of the reason I do what I do, information and education of players trying to pursue their dreams and achieve their goals. So once that didn't work out, I never signed an agent. I just thought I could just go play in front of some scouts at these, you know, overseas. They still do them. These overseas little camps where, you know, they tell you pay this money and it's a camp and there'll be scouts there and you'll get picked up. Didn't happen. And so I continued to play basketball, you know, in city leagues, adult leagues around. But, you know, I had a kid, you know, so I had to make money. And growing up, there was always guys, when I was even in middle school and high school, that would be at the gym middle of the day, and it's like, yo, y'all don't have no job? And, you know, it's like they playing basketball. And I always knew, even at a young age, that wouldn't hold me back if I had a kid from providing, just holding on to the basketball dream forever. So I had a kid, had to provide, and so I was working 6 days a week. I was subcontracting for Time Warner Cable, installing cable 6 days a week, but still finding time to play when I could, or playing in leagues. And then the way I got back to what I do now, and I've been doing it for 7 years, was a homeboy of mine that I went to. I played high school basketball with. He had an AAU team, and so they were playing at Garner Road, the YMCA, not the JD Lewis, Garner Road YMCA. And he was like, "Man, we got some games. Why don't you come check us out?" So, you know, took my bodyguards with me, Juice and Bam, and they went. We gonna go watch some games. So I get to the game, I come in and I sit on the bleachers. He's like, "Can you coach one of my team?" Bro, I came to watch. You didn't tell me I was coaching. So ended up, long story short, it was like a little fall league that they played every weekend there. So I ended up coaching maybe 2 more weekends. Developed a relationship with kids. I've always been good with kids, especially when it comes to basketball. And so afterwards, after the season was over, last game, we walking out of the gym. I talked to the guys afterwards, walking out of the gym. Mom, one of the players, comes up to me, "Hey, can you train my son?" Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can. You know, I was knowledgeable in basketball, and I felt like, you know, I could teach it, but never crossed my mind. And then as I'm training him twice a week, it just clicked. Like, I can do this. I like it. I was good enough when I played, and I've always been able to get a reaction from players. Right. If I'm talking to you, for whatever reason, they respond to me. And so from then I started off training. I was training once a week at Grand Slam on Fridays. Sometimes I would have 2 or 3 kids. Sometimes I would have 1. And then from there, it was just one of those. I was still working at Time Warner. I was working in the office at the time, and I did that for 2 years. Still working at Time Warner, and on Friday evenings, Saturdays, I kind of grew it to doing more, and then I just jumped. 2 years in, I just jumped. I just left Time Warner and said, I'm gonna do this full time. I felt like if I'm able to get in the gym anytime, my clientele will grow because I can get in the gym. I don't have to worry about, well, I gotta work or this or that. So I jumped, and the biggest thing for me was consistency. I was getting in any and every. I didn't have my own gym, so relationships and just getting into any gym I could, and just having kids show up and work. So that's how I got to it. That's kind of how it started.
I love it. We're gonna talk more about that. If you're just checking in, we're right here with the Bro Code Show. We are mid-court, right here at Word of God Christian Academy. Shout out to the Holy Rams. We'll be right back. We'll be right back on the Bro Code Show after a brief word from our sponsors. We all we got. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free Take and Bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. The Bros just got stronger. We've added a new member to the team, A. Ruth Proctor. The blonde bombshell herself will be hosting this new segment called The Proctor Report. This segment will share behind-the-scenes footage and engage questions from our listeners from a female point of view. Tap in to the Bro Code. In the Bro Code Show.
Now we don't want to zoom past our partnerships.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that, man. Partnerships and relationships are key. Right. We talk about a fist, not a finger. We can do more with more. Yeah. We can do more collectively together. So clearly, we got to shout out our sponsors, Papa Murphy's Pizza. We appreciate the relationship, continue the relationship. They understand the value of not just partnerships, but voice and amplifying that in a spirit of excellence. And we do that very well here on the Bro Code Show. For those that may want to connect with the Bro Code Show, talk about those partnerships, how we can market your brand, your idea, your vision, and your business. Please connect with us at 919-714-9905 or go to @BroCodeShow on Instagram. We look forward to what's next. It's your boy, Bro Troy,
Bro Smith, Bro Kurt,
and we are the Bro Code.
We all we got.
Welcome back to the Bro Code Show. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free Take and Bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Use the mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings. What you got, Brooke Smith? I'm sorry. What you got, Brooke?
It's all good. So, Jay, you were talking earlier about leaving Time Warner Cable. You just all of a sudden just quit. But I want to go back to what you were saying about coaching. If you don't go over there and coach for a couple of weeks, that parent doesn't walk up to you and say, can you train my child? We might not be sitting here with you.
Those steps are all ordered by God,
right?
To be totally honest with you. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't on my radar. I was cool with my oldest at the time. He was playing at rec league, so I was coaching him at rec leagues like my father did me when I was his age. So I was doing that. and I was okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I was focused. I was okay with that. But again, that was just God. In all honesty, it wasn't like I was necessarily searching. I had a dream to have my own gym. I did. Even before that happened, but I was just thinking, I hit the lottery or something, or run into somebody, and if I could, I was going to create my own gym. I always had that dream. I had it in a notebook. I still have the notebook. But training, skill development, because it's kind of still a newer phenomenon. Maybe skill development is maybe 10 years old. Like, there were no trainers when we was growing up. That wasn't a thing. So, and then once I kind of got into it, I got on social media and started studying it. It's like, nah, it's a real deal, like business. Big business at the highest level. So, and then just from there, my ambition carried me to think big that I could. Because I honestly started off saying I want to be the best trainer in Raleigh. Then I said the goal was to be the best trainer in the state. Then the goal was to be the best trainer in the country. Then the goal was to be the best trainer in the world. And as I evolved 2 or 3 years in, it was more so, I want to be known for my impact. Not just to be the best trainer. I want to impact as many lives as I can that I come into contact with. Not, there is nothing on my social media I'll never post that I'm the best. Never. Now, if my parents and players say it, cool. But you won't catch me saying you need to come train with the best. And there's no knock to anybody that does it, because a lot of people do. And I understand that you're trying to draw people in, but for me, I'd rather, like I said, players that I work with or parents say that, and they do. So I'm good. Like, I don't even like being called the GOAT, but all of my kids say there's GOATs all into everything, and it's kind of just like, I won't feed into it, but I respect it. That's just kind of just the humbleness in me, and a lot of my guys tell me I'm too humble. Like, a lot of my people tell me that I'm just too humble, but I don't know no other way to operate. So I've been told, I need you to pop your stuff more this year. And it's just like, it wouldn't be authentic. And I'm a very authentic person. I can't do it because it wouldn't be me. So I'm not going to step outside of me for social media gimmicks or traction or engagement. Because I get good engagement by being authentic. That's what I'm known for now. So I don't have to go outside of that. And I love that part. I don't have to do any gimmicks to do anything. So
you win in being yourself.
Winning being myself. Right. And you know what you get when you come over here. You know what and people come over here because of that. And I can hang my hat on that.
That's dope.
Now, you say you were from Chicago, right?
Yes.
I happen to be a Bulls fan.
Devils.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
To this point.
It's been a journey since '98. It's been a journey since '98.
But I got this could be a toss-up question, but you're Mount Rushmore. Who are your top 4 players of all time?
Go, of course, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Magic would be in there. Magic Johnson. Question a lot, and it's always hard after a certain amount. I would put LeBron there. LeBron James is there. He solidified that. And then that 4th spot could be a toss-up. You could go with Kareem, the captain. I'll probably put Kareem there. I would honestly probably put Kareem there. I'll put Kareem there.
A lot of Lakers.
Solid. Yeah. It is a lot of Lakers, but Magic for his charisma, especially around the time that he was in the NBA when it was on the downtick, and him and Bird kind of saved the NBA. If you know the history of it, during that time, the NBA was struggling and rating. And he was good. He was special. And LeBron is a once in a lifetime. For as much hype he came up in the league and notoriety, he lived up to it.
Yeah.
So you got to respect that. I mean, it's a lot of people that go one way or the other with LeBron. for me, I respect LeBron so much for how he lived up to that hype. Nobody's had that type of hype, and he lived up to it, and still to this day, 19 years in, he's still living up to that hype. And then Mike is the best. Like I don't even want to get into a debate about that. He's the greatest in my eyes. But part of that is, home, Chicago, and then part of it is living through it. Like the best thing I tell younger kids when going back and looking at Mike or explaining to them about Mike is that he never took a game off. Every game he was going to do something amazing. You know how some guys, they'll play or they'll do load management or they'll play and they're just not into it. You can tell. Yeah. That was never the case with Mike. That was never. There was always. You always watch every game. I don't care if he was playing Sacramento or Golden State. That wasn't that good. There was always. He always did something amazing that you were going to go outside and emulate and try to do it. So that was the thing. And Kareem, he won at every level. High school, college, UCLA, and then in the NBA. And then the scoring, and then having the unstoppable skyhook. You can't take that away from him. I mean, there's still nobody to this day that's perfected that skyhook. And it's an unblockable shot. But it just goes to show you how skilled he was to be able to, from 15-foot out turn and make a hook shot. Like, I'm a skill developer, and I don't have a consistent hook shot. You know what I'm saying? So just that in itself. So that would.
I'd have to agree. Plus, Kareem was one of the first athletes I can recall that had political influence. He was in the same room, Muhammad.
Yes, that's right. Yes, absolutely.
And at 18, that was a pretty bold position to be put in.
For sure.
Before he even became famous. So I'd agree.
Yeah, I have to go with that too. I respect LeBron. For me, it's bigger than basketball.
Absolutely. I say that all the
Bigger
time.
than basketball, and he's shown to prove that on and off of the court. So I really have to respect the man.
Yeah.
And then, like yourself, that legacy is seen through his children.
Yes.
And really him pushing that.
Yes.
Like,
not being ashamed of it, not shying away from it.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, he's
solid. He's just solid.
Can't take nothing away from it.
Just checking in, man. We are right here mid-court at Word of God Christian Academy. Shout out to the Holy Rams. Pastor Summerfield, 27610, stand up. It's your boy, Bro Troy,
Bro Smith,
and we are the Bro Code. We'll be right back.
Never had a shot, God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly, let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral, I see it from...
We'll be right back on the Bro Code Show after a brief word from our sponsors. We all we got. The Bro Code TV show was created to amplify the voices of others and share courageous stories of community leaders, organizations, and businesses that are doing great things. Every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., you can catch Bro Troy, Bro Kirk, and Bro Smith for another courageous conversation. You can find those conversations on our YouTube channel at Bro Code TV Productions, and also our audio podcast channels, which are on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts at The Bro Code Show. Tap in to the Bro Code experience. We all we got. We're back on the Bro Code Show. Make sure to go to PapaMurphy'sPizza.com and sign up for my Slice rewards to be in the know for exclusive deals, sneak peeks, and savings just for the Papa Murphy's My Slice Rewards family. Jason, man, we talked about a lot, man. Clearly, basketball is a passion. Now, you've been player development, right? You've been a player development coach, mentor, and have been loving on these kids for the last 7 years through the sport of basketball. Man, you have matured a lot of men, women, all across the board when it comes to basketball. But we talked about the Mount Rushmore, but I'm curious, man, have you ever had an athlete or seen an athlete with what we call that killer instinct? And if so, man, talk to us about that, man.
Yeah. Of course.
What does it look like? Like, what does that look like, and especially in a kid?
It's you can tell instantly there's a difference in how they approach everything that they do. There's a tenacity that you just when you see it, you know it. Especially when you working with, like I do, a lot of different kids. Some kids are just different. You know, it's like sometimes what we say, some guys are just touched by God. Some guys are just touched by God. And they're just wired totally different from their approach, and then how they are when they're on the court. One of those guys would be, of course, Chris Clemens, number 3 all time in NCAA in scoring. Currently just got picked up on I think he got picked up on a 10-day with Atlanta Hawks. Another kid that I've grown super fond of over the last year and a half, Brandon Childress, who comes from a basketball pedigree with his dad, Randolph. The ultimate competitor.
Yeah.
Like, he will call my phone. I talk to him twice a day at least. He will call my phone if he feels any type of slight from anybody.
Yeah.
And we debate or, you know, anything. That kid is a competitor, but I've seen him, you know, when I first met him, I was down in Miami working with one of my guys, Ronnie Taylor, that works out down there. And we were in the gym with, he's best friends with Bam Adebayo. And I've seen him play against Bam Adebayo and the Isaiah Todds and win spots. Again, a 6-foot kid playing against 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", and you know, Bam is like one of the most best defenders in the NBA. I've seen him in pickup games and just a sheer competitor. He's always had a chip on his shoulder because of his dad. People didn't think he was good as his dad. People didn't, you know, it started as, you know, they didn't think he was good enough playing the ACC. Probably he holds records at Wake Forest. You know, so he's another kid. Darius Johnson Odom, DJO, just a different type of competitor. I tell people all the time, like, to make it to the highest level, like the NBA, you kind of got to be wide different. We say it all the time about football, but basketball too. At the highest level, you have to be wired different. You got to have supreme confidence, almost borderline cocky. And there are some guys that are cocky, but then there are some guys that are supremely confident and not cocky. But in order to make it at that level, it's more of a mental thing, because you're going to get to a level, even at the high major colleges, where everybody can dribble, shoot, jump, athletic, 6'8", whatever the case may be. What separates guys is, of course, their work ethic, and then mental toughness. Are you tough enough? You know, you can be skilled,
right?
Very skilled. There's a lot of guys that's very skilled, but what carries guys over the, you know, those 50-50 balls, those games that's, you know, where you're making fadeaway jump shots like Kobe would do. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing, and so that's a big proponent of what I do as well. I'm in the skill development. It's just dealing with the mental side and mental toughness, and getting kids kind of breaking the game down to kids to understand, you know, the mental side, and again, being tough enough. That mom mentality. Yes,
I could dig that. Yeah,
for sure.
Indeed. What you got, bro?
So you've talked about some of your clients, you know, traveling to Florida. You know, how can people get in touch with you, and what makes you the gift that you are to all of these players that are trying to do their thing?
If you know me, I'm on social media daily. I'm on Instagram at _ the number 3D basketball. Twitter, and they suspended my Twitter, so I had to start all over because I had everything symmetric. It was my same handle, but Twitter is the new one is at Coach J 3D. And on either one of those, my number is listed, email, whatever, to get in contact with. Most people contact me through either a player that I work with, passing on word of mouth, or Instagram. But, you know, what was the second question?
What makes you?
What makes me different? One thing I will say is people kind of know what they get when they come to me. I'm not a gimmicks guy. I'm not a flashy guy. I'm not, what I do probably is not going to go viral on Instagram. And it's no knock to anybody that does it. I don't talk bad about no trainer. There's a lane for everybody. I have people send me stuff looking for me to do it. I won't do it. There's a lane for everybody. But with me, most people know what they get with me is I'm an in-game guy. After we get whatever our warm-up is to get guys and girls loose, we'll have a focus for the day, and the focus is gonna be we're gonna be repping something that you do in the game. I'm gonna break it down, what we're doing, why we're doing it, the reads you may see off of a defense, and then we're doing a lot of reps. I'm a big proponent of a lot of reps because I don't want kids thinking. I want them reacting. I want you playing off instinct. When my kids or when players that I train are going into a game and I talk to them before or the day before, they leave in training on the weekend, they got games during the week, at the end we break it down, trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. And the biggest thing for me as a skill developer is when I get feedback from parents and they're saying, Johnny, he jabbed and 2 dribble pull up y'all were working on. That's the biggest thing for me, is because it's the application of the things that we're working on, and they're not thinking about it. They're just doing this because we're doing so many reps. They're seeing the ball go through the basket, and through a lot of reps, and seeing the ball go through the basket builds confidence. Right. That's the biggest thing with playing this game, is confidence. So for me, we don't do 20, 30 different drills in one session. Like I said, we'll have a focus. We'll have 2 or 3 counters off of it. We'll work the right side. We'll work the left side. And a big thing for me is explaining the when, what, and how and why. Because I like to build players' IQs. Because that, most kids can play. But if you got a kid that understands the game and has somewhat of IQ, they're gonna be marginally better than most kids. Because a lot of kids are just out there just running around. They don't even know what they're doing. They're doing what they've seen on Instagram highlights on ESPN. Right. And so we try to build the IQ, build confidence through the reps. And again, what we're doing is something you're going to do in the game. It's in-game situations. I'm not doing tricks. We're not doing the flashy thing or doing something so evolved to say that we're changing the game. I don't want to change the game. The game is fine. The game has always been fine. Yes, the game evolves, but I don't want to change the game. I just want to make it better. Yeah,
fundamentals are still key.
That's why I started in the beginning. Yeah, that's honestly why I started. I was coaching and telling kids to get in a 2-3, and they're in middle school, and they looking at me like I'm crazy. Y'all know what a 2-3 is, and y'all are 13, 14? All right, something's missing from the game. It's not being taught. So when I first started training, the biggest thing for me was I'm building off old school fundamentals. I'm building kids up off of fundamentals, breaking them all the way down and building them off fundamentals. So yeah, that's what you get when you come over here. And a lot of people also come to me for the mental side. So parents that hit me like, I heard that you work with mental. He's struggling with confidence, and so we delve. There's times where I stop, even the young kids, where I stop them and they pouting because they keep messing up. And I say this in almost every session. Crazy, I say it almost every session. I'm sure my kids may can repeat me verbatim, but the biggest thing is for me is you're gonna make mistakes. Let's make them in here. Yeah, you're not gonna play perfect. The thing is, just go back and try not to make the same mistake. Don't feel sorry for yourself. We all in here. There's no scouts. We're not keeping no score. You're in here for yourself, right? So come in here and work. Get the best out of it. You're not gonna make every shot. Let's get that out the window right away. Right. Steph Curry don't make every shot.
He makes it look good.
He makes a lot of them. But one of the best shooters. So when you break the game down like that for kids, it kind of eases them. Like, just understand you're not gonna make every one. And we playing the long game. This is development. You're not gonna be perfect. We striving to be perfect, but you're not gonna be perfect. So take every chance you get. 1% better. Yeah. Let's get 1% better today. Yeah. And I guarantee you, if you listen to me and you work hard, I guarantee you we'll get better. It's a proven method. We're gonna get better.
I can dig. What you got, bro? Kurt?
You know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this. I was watching a special on Amazon about Prince George County.
Yeah, PG
Kevin
County.
Durant, Nolan Smith.
It's in the water.
Them boys, right? Right. It's in the
Yeah.
water, right?
Yeah.
But as I was watching, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Chicago, Detroit, LA, and New York, obviously. But I don't think people understand what this is about down here.
I had this
So if you can just
conversation
speak
a
to
lot.
that, man, 'cause, like,
I had this conversation a
I'm
lot.
thinking about the Drew League. I'm thinking about Rico Hines runs.
Yes.
And I'm telling you now, pound for pound, Raleigh could have the same thing or better here.
Absolutely. We had this conversation. The biggest thing is I've learned so much. I've patterned the Rico Hahn runs. I've patterned my runs that I've been doing for the last 3-4 years behind him. Like, that's all credit to what he does with my pros in the summer. And I've had this argument with Michael Beasley, who's from PG. You know, Brandon Childress, you know, by way his dad and them are by way of PG. And just my explanation to everybody, in which why we're called the Hoop State, is because you can go to any part of North Carolina. Any part of North Carolina. PG County is a centralized place. New York City is not New York.
Yeah.
Chicago is centralized city. Cali kind of it's a bigger state.
Yeah.
So per capita it's a bigger state. It's the biggest state. So of course by numbers, but you can go to here, Raleigh, the capital. You go to the Triad. You got Greensboro, Winston,
Queen City.
CP3's over there. You can go to Kinston out east, Greenville. You can go to Fayetteville, Southern. You can even go out to the coast, Wilmington. Then you Charlotte, Queen City. You go to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then even the mountains. Boom. You know where Appalachian State is, and even Western, where Western Carolina is. You know, they have a prep school out there, Asheville. So that's always my argument. We have pros from probably every part of our state. Every part. And again, there's a lot of pros from North Carolina. All over. And so, you know, one of the things I do want to do is I do want them all to come back and be here, do some type of celebrity game. That's something I'm working on. And kind of just get them all in the gym. I know it's tough, especially when you're dealing with pros, but relationships. I'm gonna rely on some relationships. But that's my explanation. Any part of North Carolina, I don't care where you go. I don't care where you go. Roanoke Rapids, it don't matter. There's gonna be a player, and so that in turn makes it hard for the kids here. Because like even like with my son, people were like, "Yo, bring him to St. Louis, bring him to Florida." He instantly gonna be the best kid because it's easy to get overlooked here because it's so saturated with so many, and basketball is big here. It's like Florida or Texas football. Basketball is so big here, so it's easy to get overlooked because you looking and everybody good here. You really got to be nice to stand out here. Whereas in other areas, you're gonna get 2,000 points in certain parts of different states. Because everybody just ain't that good, and you could just run through it, run through the whole area, and it's not the case here. It's just not. It's not the case here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that argument a lot, especially with them PG County boys.
Now,
they saturated now. You got Oladipo, you got Bees, you got Kevin Durant, you got it's a lot. Nolan Smith, Randolph Childress, you know, and every generation they got some. But we do too.
No, I was telling the fellas because he asked me earlier, how you know Jay? Man, I'm at the Y. But those runs.
Yeah.
Right?
You're gonna find guys in there like, yo, he can go play somewhere. Yeah, so absolutely. The YMCA runs growing up were legendary. Of course, Raleigh Boys Club where John and PJ Tuckers came out of, Poobie Chapman, all those guys, Pooh's still over there, Ant Simmons, like the Boys Club is kind of a stickler in Raleigh. A lot of guys came out of there, like I said, PJ Tucker, John Wall, Poobie Chapman, Des Wells, like it's a lot that comes out of there. But again, that's just one small part of just the city of Raleigh. You can go to the north side of Raleigh, you can go to southeast side of Raleigh, where we at right now.
Right.
So it's and when I was coming up in high school, you got on my alma mater, Sanderson. We were in the Cap 8. Man, it was a D1 player on all 8 teams when I was coming up. in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a D1, sometimes 2 on each team in our conference. That's just here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
So it's I can go on for days about the hoop state, man.
Definitely passionate about basketball.
Absolutely.
He's just checking in with the Bro Code. We got my man Jason Coleman, 3D basketball. We are mid-court right here at Word of God Christian Academy, 3000 Rock Quarry Road, Southeast Raleigh, 27610. Stand up. I'm Bro Troy.
Bro Smith.
Bro Kurt.
And we are the
Bro
Bro
Code.
Code. We'll be right back.
Since I never had a shot, God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my...
We'll be right back on the Bro Code Show after a brief word from our sponsors. We all we got. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings.
Get your love when I'm gone, when I've said my last goodbye. Who gets your love?
Yeah,
Get your love
when I'm gone.
when I'm gone.
Who?
Who gets your love? Othello on the beat.
To leave a legacy is bottom line. Missions only designed to recoup distorted times. If every step is important, I pray you order mine. The marathon continues till I reach the borderline. Heaven's in my peripheral, I see it from an angle.
Welcome back to the Bro Code Show with your boy, Bro Troy. Make sure to go to PapaMurphy'sPizza.com and sign up for My Slice Rewards to be in the know for exclusive deals, sneak peeks, and savings just for the Papa Murphy's My Slice Rewards family. Man, Jason, we've talked about a lot, man. We've asked you a whole lot of questions now. We have a segment on the show called Flip the Script. Now, on this segment, Jason, you get to now ask us questions. So you can ask us one question for all of us, or you can ask us individual questions. Totally up to you.
I ask a blanket one, and everybody can, each one of you guys can kind of go down and answer. I'm a big purpose guy, and so I guess what is each one of you guys' purpose or passion? I'm a big passion. Like I like to, passion, purpose, being intentional. So like, what is each one of you guys like passion or purpose in your life? Like even with this, your passion individually and purpose.
Good one. We always talk about that one, man. You want? We'll just slide back this way.
Yeah. Great question. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I was that kid. When you talk about those kids when they were younger,
and I know your story. We talked a lot. We've been around each other, but yes.
But you know what I mean. So
Yeah, for sure.
like to inspire, man.
Yes.
I think Nipsey said that
Absolutely.
the greatest purpose is to inspire.
Absolutely.
So when somebody DMs you, and I know you get these DMs, they're like, "Yo, I needed that."
Yes.
Whatever that was,
Yes.
and you just being you sometimes, but just knowing that, just showing up for people, and being that shoulder. I mean, that inspires me every day to do this. When I'm in a space, sometimes I'm in that space where I need that.
That's right.
But it's like, I know people watching.
Yes.
So like, yeah, man.
That accountability.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, man, it's as simple as wanting to make the world better than I left it. And if I can inspire, if I can bring joy to people, if I can change somebody's life somehow through that process,
Right.
I've lived a good life.
I think we all live. Words matter. We live by hashtags. We live by monikers and things of that nature. I aspire to inspire, right? Thus, a lot of us share some of the same goals. That's why we're together, right? Like that's how we came together because purpose is a lifestyle thing for me. Like I figured out my why. It's to spark creative mindsets in the young and the young at heart. Like that's my thumbprint on the earth.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
We've connected a few times.
So now that I've acknowledged that, I walk in that every day, man. Like every day I look for another opportunity, whether that's through social media, whether that's through conversation, text message, email.
Absolutely.
Now in this world we live in Zoom, or this platform.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, this is exactly why the Bro Code was created. It was to really encourage that voice, to let people know our why. and why we do what we do, and then now get to do it our way. To have these courageous conversations, highlight those people like yourself, and continue that ripple effect, man. So, yeah, purpose is a lifestyle thing for me, and now that I've figured out what that looks like, it's an honor,
right?
To be able to walk that out every day. So yeah, and it's really served in our relationship, on our platform, and in the work that we do, man. Yeah, indeed. Did you have any more, man? You look like the wheels was turning, right?
That was it.
Okay. Well, this next segment, man, now that we're finished with Flip the Script, we have another segment, man. In this segment, we've done a little research. Now, don't be scared. It's okay, right? But we did a little research, man. You are a lover of all things, lover of basketball, people. You talked about a faucet and pouring into people, and you showed that very well and very intentionally, right? We love that word as well on social media. So we grabbed about 3 pictures that we thought that really capture the essence of 3D basketball and that faucet that you talk about. And we just want you to, one, talk about who's in the picture, and why you shared it with the world, why it's important. So we're going to start with number 1.
Okay. This was actually my first time going to Miami. I want to say this was like probably 3 years ago now. First time going to Miami. The guy I'm pictured with is also a skill developer, Ronnie Taylor.
Okay.
He's from Raleigh.
Okay.
Went to Southeast Raleigh High School, which is next door.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah.
And we grew up together, and it was during the week of Art Pop down in Miami. He was doing a Puma basketball event. We had connected before that. He would come up here and work out some guys, and he wanted me to come down and help him out. Okay. So an opportunity, a relationship we built, and I've been eternally grateful for him for that. Yeah. He's opened doors for me just from allowing me to come be a part of what he's doing. Truly a brother to me. He's helped me a lot. Yeah. Especially when it comes to working with pro guys like NBA guys. He's cornered the market down there in Miami. Yeah. As far as pro guys, like anybody that's coming to Miami, they're gonna touch down and tap in with Ronnie for at least one session. And our relationship continues to grow. We work together. I go down there periodically. I held a camp up here. He came in and helped me out when I did a high school exposure camp last year, or year before last. Now it's 2022. But that's my guy. A great experience in Miami. First time going, being a part of Puma. Puma was during the time fresh into basketball, trying to break into it on the grassroots and professional side. So super thankful, grateful for the opportunity, and our bond has grown tremendously, and I expect it to continue to. Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, indeed. That's definitely my guy.
Good deal, man. What do you think about picture number 2, man? Talk to me.
Oh man, my firstborn, me and Jameer, more affectionately known as Juice. Yeah. We're in the gym actually, and which we love to be in. I was actually training some of my college and pro guys. He was helping me out, and he's right there beside me. And it kind of speaks to during the time he was seeing an uptick in just his productivity in the game. Yeah. And even with the caption, I quoted a Jay-Z lyric saying, let the other guys get the name, or you skip the fame, 10,000 or 100. Just stay the same. Just stay to the work. Trust the work. Again, we're not proponents of we understand the necessity of social media. Yeah. But one thing I love about my son, he gets it, and I think it's just because of hearing me preach and just the example that I show. He really gets the social media thing, and he understands how we kind of. Because I'm a big part of how he puts out stuff on social media. We're intentional, right? But he doesn't get caught up into the other stuff that a lot of kids get caught up into, and I honestly think it's just from my example and a lot of his big brothers that I work with that are very integral in helping and aiding me in his development. But he's always by my side. Yeah, he's my ace. He's my road dog. And that don't take away from any of my other sons, but you know, this basketball thing is a special thing. So the photographer called a special moment with us, an off guard moment, and it's a very special picture. And it just speaks to our relationship, especially when it comes to the court. He's always right there, taking in everything. I have to be mindful because he is there. He's watching. All of my sons are, but definitely him because we're alike.
Yeah,
we're very much alike in just personality. Yeah, and I love that about him. And yeah, that's my guy. And he's gonna be the next special one. He's gonna be the next special one. I usually don't say that, you know, publicly, but you know, he's earned that. He definitely, I can say that now. Yeah, he's earned that, and so you know, looking forward to the future with him, and he'll be going into high school next year. So it's definitely gonna be fun. It's been a fun ride, and I'm enjoying it. And you know, the balance of our relationship has, you know, through growth, you know, you got kids, you know, it's always evolving. You're always changing because they're changing. Indeed. They're evolving. So I love being super in tune with all my boys.
So let's talk about that, man. So when we talk about evolution, we talk about maturing, especially for your firstborn. Yeah. Man, one of the words that comes up to me, and the fellas talk about this all the time, is legacy. You know, so what does that look like outside of being a faucet? Using basketball as a tool to mature, inspire, and educate. How does that look like from a legacy perspective for Jason Coleman, his family, and 3D basketball?
For me, I always say the biggest thing I want to be respected for and known for is just impacting lives. Yeah. Kind of spoke to it a little bit earlier. You know, of course, at first the goal was to be the best trainer in the world, and it shifted, and I truly want to impact as many lives as I want. I only care if it's just a one-day camp and I come in contact with a kid. I want them to remember something I gave them, even if it was just a word of encouragement, and being really genuine in giving that. Yeah. And so my legacy for me is definitely in the city and in the area, in the state, of just being known as you know, one of the most authentic skill developers and just man, period. Yeah. You know, respect from the door before the right reasons. You know, and because of so many people know that, hey, Jay's a good guy. Right. Jay is definitely about the players. And he's gonna try to help in any way that he can, even if it's not directly to me. If I can't do it, I'll call somebody else and say, "Hey, I got a kid. I don't need no credit. I don't need anything. I need you to make this happen for this kid." Or if you can find somebody that can. So like I want to help players that take the game as far as they can. Yeah. Whatever that end goal is, you know, even if it's just to make your JV team or make your middle school team, because we started from nothing when you first came. Everybody's not going to make an NBA. Everybody's not going to get a D1 scholarship, but I want to be able to help whatever the goal is that we carve out for you. Yeah. I want to be that, and I want to hold you accountable to that. And let's say we give it in tandem with your parents and your village, whatever your village. I want to be a part of that village. And so it's so many kids and parents that, you know, they'll congratulate and thank me, and it's like, I thank you for allowing me to be a small part of their development. It's always what I'm grateful for that, because that's a lot. These are kids' babies. Yeah. These are people. This is your baby. Yeah. That you're entrusting to me to pour into, right? So that's what I want to be known for. That's what I want my legacy to be. Yeah. You know, a real authentic guy. You know what you get from him, but an impactful guy, on and off the court. On and off the court. In the community.
Yeah. I could dig that, man. Yeah. I could dig that. That's respect. His last one, man. Talk to us about that one.
That was at the Elite 50. My guy Rob Bridges does Elite 50 middle school camp. Okay. And it's a picture I'm instructing or demonstrating the drill that we're working on, and it's a handful of 10, 20 kids behind me watching. So for me, I always like to say, if I can get your undivided attention, I guarantee you'll get something out of this. And so, you know, it's kind of speaking to the legacy. It kind of shows that me leading a bunch of kids and a bunch of kids following behind me and leaning on every single word. Because they're all eyes on me. I do, in just how I exude myself when I step on the floor, I command a certain type of attention. And that's just from confidence, and that's just from speaking with a certain fervor when I'm on the court. Now, outside of the court, but when I'm in here, it comes out. It comes out. And so that picture there, I was, you know, again honored. My guy Rod allowed me to kind of lead that camp that we had.
That was here, right? I was looking at the walls. I was like, that was here.
And it was a middle school camp. It was kids from all over the state came in. It was a great camp. We had we ended up having about 50 kids. And it was just kids just leaning on every word and again, me giving back. And I feel like every kid we impacted that day, because quick little story out of that, we have a water break, right? So it's 50 kids in here. There's balls everywhere. So make the announcement. Everybody off the court, put the balls down. So of course,
it took a while.
You know how when y'all first came in, you gotta grab the ball, right?
That's right.
You know, so it was one of those things.
That's
so
right.
I looked around, because my son was in the camp, and I had like pretty much all of the kids that's on our AAU team, our travel team, was in here. So I'm looking around at them like, they heard me say, keep the balls down. Put the balls down. Nobody. They just down here keep on shooting. So I'm like, so I look at them, I was like, y'all better tell them before I get different in here. So they looking like, if y'all don't want to suffer it, y'all know me. So y'all better say something. They said something, a couple of them still. All right, so I asked Rod, who was running the camp, I said, hey, it's all right if I kind of, before we get into what we do, it's gonna be some consequences. Because I told him too. I told everybody else. I done told them a few times. So it was a teaching point. The parents were all here sitting. So all the parents were in here. So okay, boom. We come out of it. We were supposed to go into our second round of skills. And so come out. Bro, like we about to go in the joint, but he was like, I'm gonna give the floor to Jay. So I need everybody to line up all the way down on the sideline. So it's quiet. So I go to the parents first. Parents, did any of y'all hear me say put the balls down? They was like, yep,
Yo, they ready.
Yep. So I do about 5-10 minutes of just charging kids on, you know, you could go in somewhere, and we've all been to tryouts, and as a coach or as a scout, if I had to tell you the same thing over and over again, I'm gonna just go to the next person. Or the biggest thing with us, because these are top kids in middle school, biggest problem with us that I have in the grassroots and in the culture of the game is kids being able to skip steps just because you good. Ain't nobody gonna hold you accountable. I'm scared because I don't want to lose you, so I ain't gonna yell or I ain't gonna bark at you. And so I went through a whole soliloquy of that, and again, it impacted so many parents. It impacted players, and I made them run a 17. We put a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. Made them run a 17. They didn't make it. We ran it again, just for them to understand. Like, I want y'all to have fun, but at the same time, there's structure to everything. Because, again, I gave the analogy of the world we live in today. You can go out here and not listen, and you ain't gonna get a second chance. You're not gonna get a second chance because predominantly most of the kids are in there with us. So y'all gotta understand, it's bigger than basketball. If you're not gonna listen to me, you're gonna go out here in the world and you're not gonna get a second chance. They're gonna look at you as a problem just because you didn't listen the first time, and you probably aren't a problem. So, you know, I take every opportunity I get, especially when it's a teaching moment like that. I tell any camp I go to, it's my job to be brutally honest with you. because there's not enough of us doing that. So
right.
I might be the only person that you're gonna see in the next 3-4 years that's gonna be brutally honest with you. So again, every chance I get, I don't take it for granted, and I want to impact.
Yeah.
Impact.
That's good.
We don't have the luxury to be lazy or not listen.
We don't.
So, good stuff, bro. Good stuff. And that's a great segue. Earlier when we started this conversation, or before we had this interview, I asked you, I was like, hey, what's one word that you would use to describe yourself, or that you use to encourage yourself? Now, throughout this whole conversation,
Everybody gonna know that.
that you've said it 50 million times. It's a hashtag. It's probably on everything. I think you got shorts that say it too.
Sure.
Right.
Tatted on me.
Show. But outside of work ethic, just work, period. Or hashtag we working.
We working.
And we want to do something special for you, man, and just highlight you. So, Kurt, what you got, man?
Yeah, love it, man. So you were talking earlier about impact, and I started a brand because I wanted to impact people too. Called You Matter.
Yep.
And it leads to what you're talking about. Now we wanted to give you one of our $2 bills, which says "You Matter" on it, Jason. On the back, the Bro Code Show, and it says your work ethic, which goes into we working.
Right.
I still got my shorts.
Oh my God.
But we signed it for you, man, and we appreciate you
I
doing
gotta
the
frame
show.
that.
Yeah, man.
I gotta frame that.
Indeed. Add that.
The wife is great with that. I'm taking this straight to her. She's gonna frame
Tell her
it.
to laminate that.
Yes.
Man. You-
Didn't frame it. I thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely,
guys. Thank
man.
you guys.
Absolutely. One thing I really admire about you, we didn't really hit on this, is that you're a man of faith.
Absolutely.
And, you make it a point, whether that be on social media or just period, to use that and reflect that. Like, we talk about that word intentional. It's something that you intentionally do. And clearly that's not just an inspiration for you, but anyone that reads it. So
Absolutely.
I admire that, man. You can laminate that and use that, put that in your Bible as a bookmark.
Thank you so much.
Indeed,
Thank
bro.
you.
Yeah, we
Thank
appreciate you and coming on the show, man. We thank you for taking the opportunity, coming here at Word of God, right mid-court. Man. Shout out to the John Wall and all the greats that
Yes.
came through Word of God Christian Academy.
Yes.
Oh, last but not least, man, like, this is probably my favorite part of the show, bro. Now, let me ask you this. Have you appreciated the experience?
Absolutely.
It's a dope experience.
A great experience.
Do you think that others would appreciate this experience?
Absolutely.
So this is our segment called Calling Them Out. Calling Them Out! That's your camera right there, man. We need 2 or 3 dope individuals that would appreciate a Bro Code experience and call them out, let them know they need to be on the show.
A player.
Uh-oh.
A player. A kid that I've grown fond of, and he has a story and is a well-spoken kid. Justin McCoy, at the University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, I think he would be great.
Panther Creek.
Panther Creek. Yep.
Yeah.
Graduated from Panther Creek under Coach Shawan, who I grew up with.
Okay.
Another guy I grew up with.
Clemson.
With his family and everything. So Justin McCoy, I think, would be great.
Okay.
I think we definitely can make that happen. He would be on board. A great kid, well spoken. I think you guys would love him, and I think he has a story to tell. An agent. I think agents, they're pretty much behind the scene. A lot of the younger agents are kind of getting into the social media world, but I got an OG agent, Jamie Knox, JCK agency. He sends me a lot of players. He connected me with Chris Clemens. He connected me with CJ Williams, that played for the Clippers, is overseas, having a great season this year. And he's a guy that definitely has helped me out in my career as well. And just to kind of speak from that agency side, a very successful agent. So Jamie Knox would be another great person, just to have an agent, a player, and then another guy who he's my accountability partner. He's the coordinator. I call him the quarterback of a lot of things that go on with the Hoop State Network. Yeah, who's very popular. My guy Ray Masonette. He does a lot for the Hoop State. He actually has a podcast coming called Parental Advisory. Okay. Getting the aspect and the viewpoint from parents in the sports world, which is going to be great. He's done scouting. You know, he's been around the game. He's from New York.
Yeah.
A New York guy, but been down here. A really good guy. That's my guy. So those three guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can make happen.
Yeah.
I'll help in any way that I can.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Justin McCoy,
Jamie Knox, and Ray Masonette.
We need you on the Bro Code Show, right here.
My guys.
Indeed,
My
indeed.
guys.
Well, fellas, hey man, we had a good time. We talked Rushmore basketball. We talked a little bit more about our passions. We always close the show the same way, Jason. Tonight's no different, man. It's just a little bit of positivity. Tonight's quote says, "Don't wait for the world to recognize your greatness. Live it, and let the world catch up to you." It's your boy, Bro Troy
Smith.
and we are the Bro Code. That's up.
So don't judge me. I be spreading the message on the corner where the thugs be. And Rock said, be careful when the world start to love me. I've been getting recognition.
we got-
I'm starting to
You
worry.
live for tomorrow if you ain't promised today. Or could you walk on water if you don't stand on faith? It's like I'm going through circles, I'm in that same old place. I see you closing the curtains, but I got something to say. I got something to say. GTD, stand up. I mean, I just don't get it, as if they can't see you making the way. City lights, what up? He's preparing the way. City lights, what up? How could you live for tomorrow if you ain't promised today? Or could you walk on water if you don't stand on faith? It's like I'm going through circles, I'm in that same old place.
The Bro Code TV show was created to amplify the voices of others and share courageous stories of community leaders, organizations, and businesses that are doing great things. Every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., you can catch Bro Troy, Bro Kirk, and Bro Smith for another courageous conversation. You can find those conversations on our YouTube channel at Bro Code TV Productions, and also our audio podcast channels, which are on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts at The Bro Code Show. Tap in to the Bro Code experience. We all we got.